Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by GTN, featuring interviews and events happening around town. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City on iTunes, Pandora, or SoundCloud so you can keep up with what's going on in city government and beyond. I'm your host, Rodney Dawson, and with me today, my wonderful guest here to talk about leaders and achievers, members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Thanks for joining Talk City today.
Thank you for having me.
I have Brother Javon Johnson. He's with Mu Iota, which is the chapter at University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and Noah Lawton. He's the, I guess, some people call him vice president. We call him vice Pomar for Mu Iota. That's the chapter on the college. And then we have the alumni chapter, Greensboro Alumni, which started in 1946, and representing them is Brother Keith Crosby.
Thank you.
Brother Keith Crosby, where are you from?
I'm from Greensboro.
You're from Greensboro?
Yes.
Okay. What made you interested in Kappa? Say I wanted to join.
So growing up as a young man in Greensboro, and I've never known this brother's name, but there was a man who grew up, I would see him, and he had a car, a very nice car. Mm-hmm. It was a blue BMW. Every time he got out of his car, he was dressed really nice. And on the front of his tag, it said K-A-Y. I didn't have any idea what that was. But I said, whatever that is, that's what I want to have. Mm-hmm. And then I had a real good friend of mine, Brian Johnson, that I grew up with. He actually introduced me to Kappa my junior year in high school.
Okay. Brother Noah Lawton, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What was it? Was it someone you saw or some people strolling? What was it?
For me, it was when I had first gotten to college, I had gotten into real estate, and I feel like I was kind of like throwing darts in the dark. I was looking for mentorship, but I couldn't really find what I was looking for. There was one brother, he's spring 2010, I'm pretty sure, across that University of South Carolina. His name Timothy Webb, and met him on social media. He really just gave me that guidance and mentorship I was looking for. He didn't ask me for any money, didn't charge me, and for me, that's kind of where I see myself in the future. I want to be able to provide that same kind of mentorship and guidance. So when we spoke, he kind of hinted at the organization that he was in, which is Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, kind of providing him that guidance to be able to provide that to me. And I feel like I wanted to be able to give that same thing.
Javon Johnson, he's 6'5", 6'6", standing 6'5", 6'6", smooth. You don't need a fraternity to draw attention to you or make you somebody. What was it in your life that drove you to Kappa?
So yeah, I am tall. So I played basketball, and around my senior year, I had this coach. He was rather young, and I looked at him as a mentor and a cool person. Like I can see myself like around him a lot, And then it turns out he's a part of this fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and he crossed Alpha Nu, and
which is A&T, right?
Yeah, North Carolina A&T. And once I figured that out and stuff, I started doing my own research on the fraternity, and everything aligned with my morals and achieving. And I was just like, this is something that I can be a part of. So
I'm hearing a lot of mentorship.
Yes.
A lot of mentorship. Mm-hmm. For me, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi as well, but it was wanting to be a part of something greater than myself. And be around like-minded people. I hear people say that, and it's cliche-ish, but it really was. I was like, I got a mission, and I don't have a lot of time to waste, and I need to be around people that are about that business. And it turns out it's achievement, And so that's what drew me. But it's just examples, And so, Brother Keith, you've been in Kappa longer than anyone here at this table. You've been very active in the community, especially when it comes to fitness and things of that nature. So this conference, we're here to talk about the C. Roger Wilson Leadership Conference and developing leaders. You've run the conference before. When you first ran the conference, and it's going to be on the campus of University of North Carolina at Greensboro, when you first ran the conference, when you ran it, did you say, I want to achieve this goal? I want the men to come out with this. So, and I ask you because what is the purpose of the conference?
So for me, the biggest takeaway that I wanted to actually occur was to develop our younger brothers, put them in a place, in a position that they could achieve, put them in a place, in a position where they could grow, in that space to be safe at the same time. coming in and going into various positions of the fraternity, encouraging them to go after various positions within their universities and colleges, but really to grow the young men. Most of the brothers that come around, we've come around for years. We've been around. We've come to several conferences, and oftentimes we come to grow, but we come to bond and network. But for the young men, we really want to make sure that they are developed and that we start to develop them early. But not only that, but grow our relationships with them as well.
Okay. All right. And is that what you guys have felt since you've joined?
For me, yeah,
Okay.
definitely, for sure. Yeah, that kind of push to be a leader and that mentorship, that's what pushed me to join as well. I would say since joining has been consistent with why I joined, that mentorship.
Kappa Alpha Psi is an international organization. So with what, 721 chapters, and I'm not sure how many people. You might know. Well,
a lot.
a lot of people, and so spread out. It's vast. So how do you service the Gate City? How does Kappa go about serving Greensboro and the surrounding area?
So for Greensboro alumni, one thing that we've done for years is our Kappa League program, which is our mentoring program for high school students. We also do what is called the Botillion Military Scholarship Program, in which we help young men participate in raising scholarship dollars. We have been a prominent part of the Greensboro Crop Walk for a number of years. We also serve in the capacity for the Moorhead Jenkins and Moorhead Simpkins and Coley Jenkins assisted living facilities.
Okay.
And various other volunteer activities as we're called upon by the city and the residents.
And I'm glad you said that, but I was really asking, how does Kappa at large service the city? So is there chapters in every city, or what's the difference between Greensboro Alumni Chapter? Is it and Kappa as a whole? Greensboro is just the arm of Kappa.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
So Greensboro has its own chapter. Each university has their own chapter.
Okay.
And so in turn, that goes from the chapters to what we call province, which is then our regions. And then from our regions is where we go up to nationals.
So I guess what I'm hearing is like the college chapters, Alpha Nu at North Carolina A&T, Nu Theta at Elon, and of course Mu Iota, MI here at UNCG. You kind of look to mentorship from Greensboro alumni.
For sure.
Okay, and so every alumni chapter, which is made up of graduates, kind of supports or does support the local or nearby college chapter. Okay, all right.
And let us not forget Pi Theta over at High Point University.
Oh, okay,
right down the street.
Okay. So, and we talked about Kappa developing leaders, and we see this through examples. What examples do we see? And I'm gonna ask you later on about some nationally known folks, but locally, what examples can we call upon? Whom do we know that are Kappa men that are achieving and good family men, doing things professionally? I can kick out one name before somebody else kicks out one.
Yeah, the first brother that comes to mind is Miaota's very own Kevin Graves Sr. He does a lot for Greensboro, a lot for Kappa, and definitely a lot for the Miaota chapter alone.
Super big. A lot of folks don't know. He's underappreciated.
Yes.
Definitely.
And so he made the largest donation, minority donation, to the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, $250,000.
I was there. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And he's also the financial consultant for several NBA players, including Bam Adebayo with the Miami Heat, an Olympic champion. Yeah.
Right, yep.
Yes.
Right.
And guess what he did? Back in 2020, when I was with the Greensboro History Museum, we had COVID, so we did the Juneteenth celebration virtually. And so I called Kay Graves, and he got Bam to do a video announcement saying, "Hey, with Greensboro, welcome to Juneteenth," that type thing. And we aired it when we had our Juneteenth virtual celebration for the city. But yeah, Kay Graves, who else? Noah?
I know we just talked about The one that's in this building, his name is Holt, right? Correct?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hugh Holston.
Hugh
Yeah,
Holston,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Councilman,
He's the city
Councilman,
councilman, the city attorney,
The city
city
attorney.
attorney, Chuck,
Chuck
Watts.
Watts. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who
Justice
else?
Henry Fry.
Justice
Right.
Henry Fry, first African American Chief Justice for the Supreme Court for the state of North Carolina.
Dr. Blunt.
Dr. Blunt.
Yeah.
450 surgeries, over 450 surgeries in the MASH unit when he was stationed in Korea.
Kenneth Lee.
Kenneth Lee, civil rights attorney, he gave Justice Fry, he's the one that talked him into being a lawyer, let him use the secretary and gave him the office space.
Mel Swan.
Mel Swan. For years, I knew Mel Swan because I did Aggie football, but I was in the booth. And so Mel Swan and Spencer, and rest in peace, Spencer Gwynn, but Mel Swan and Spencer, rest in peace, Mel Swan, but they were calling the games, so I never met him in person. And so I didn't know who it was, but he was majorly known because of he's an educator.
Right.
And he held the highest position for an African American at the time as deputy superintendent for Greensboro City Schools. And when Greensboro realized, and this was after 54, after the decision, Brown versus Board, but Greensboro really didn't start integrating until around the 70s or 80s, even though that decision was made in 54 or 57, I think 54.
Yeah.
And so they called upon Mel Swan saying, hey, we got to integrate these schools. We need your help. And he was the chief influencer or the architect for integrating the schools here.
Okay. Wow.
And then we have Dr. Curtis Brown.
Dr. Curtis Brown, New Light Missionary Baptist Church, longtime supporter of the NAACP. And that church has just been a staple here in Greensboro for a long time. So a lot of achievers and leaders around here. And we got Brother Keith Crosby.
Right.
And if you look around, Brother Dawson, there are various men that you may not even know. There are those that are in positions as principals, administrators, pastors, leaders. As we look in every field of human endeavor, we have brothers that are achieving, and you never necessarily know who they are and what they're a part of.
Exactly. And you reminded me to the new chancellor.
Correct.
At A&T.
Correct.
Nationally, really quick before we run out of time, I got who's some national names people may know.
I'm a sports guy, so Wilt Chamberlain is one of the first to come to my mind, along with Colin Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I know we've talked about Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Arthur Ashe. Some of the more well-known ones.
Gail Sayers.
Gail Sayers.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Yeah, that's right. Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Johnny Cochran.
Yeah. Johnny Cochran. Yeah. oh, and we're forgetting one.
Who was that?
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem
Jeffries. Right.
The minority whip.
That's right.
So, okay. And this conference is coming to UNCG. It's developing leaders. It's fairly big. And has it come to UNCG before or Greensboro?
It came to UNCG, I'm not mistaken, back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was back in Greensboro again in 2022.
Right, at A&T.
Yes.
I remember that one. What's the economic impact? What kind of money does the Skate City look to make, or what kind of money is raised or revenue is generated when this conference comes to town?
The economic impact for this weekend will be about $200,000. Hotel costs, food, facilities, locations, fuel, gas.
Right.
And those are just some of the things that we can think of and actually potentially calculate. But there's other spending that will occur as well.
Did y'all buy anything for the conference?
Food,
yeah.
Food. I'm saying, did you buy any clothes to get ready for the conference?
Yeah.
So they already started making money for the city.
Yeah.
Mu Iota. We're here with Brother Javon Johnson and Noah Lawton, representing Mu Iota, which is a chapter at UNCG. How can we keep up with what's going on if you got events that the public can come out? Because although this leadership conference is for members only, it's for developing leaders for this area.
Right.
But there are events, Kappa events that the public can attend. Is there anything in Mu Iota, even if you don't have anything coming up, how can we stay abreast? Is there social media handles, things of that nature?
So undergrad-wise, our social media is MI Noops or at MI Noops on Instagram. We regularly update with events that we're doing as far as on campus or if we're going somewhere else. And I know as far as province-wise, I'm pretty sure it's at MEP _KA Psi.
All right, we'll make sure we'll get that on the screen so when people watch this on YouTube, they'll see it.
Okay.
What's the fun thing about being a Kappa?
One
fun thing.
I'd say fun for me. It might not be fun for everybody. I like networking a lot. That's like I
Yeah,
love.
you said that
networking,
about
yeah.
3 times.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. I love meeting people. I think I'm really a people person. Like,
Yeah.
so being able to meet a ton of people to me is super fun.
You gonna make some money, young man.
Yeah, same
Same
as
with you?
him about networking and just being like a leader, a role model for younger people. Like I love reading the kids. I love like
Right.
giving back to like mold them to kind of take the same journey that I took. You know, even if it. Nah, I mean, yeah, but like do what you want. But like I would love to see somebody join the fraternity that I'm in because of something that I did.
You're the example.
Yeah.
You're that justice friar, you're that pastor or that police officer. Shout out to Brother Ricketts, retired Greensboro PD,
Right.
who's a Noop as well. Brother Crosby, what's one fun thing you've noted about being a Kappa?
It's all about the bond for me.
Right,
You know,
right,
the bond creates this fun in itself.
right.
So it's nothing. Brothers know I say it's all about that fire.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna steal that. It's all about the bond. It creates the excitement within itself. I'm gonna steal that. I take quotes and stuff from people. I give them credit for 6 months, then it's mine. For me, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I love going to a big function, a homecoming or something like that, the all black party or something, and seeing a bunch of noobs
Right.
there,
Yeah.
representing themselves. And so anyway, and I've also enjoyed talking to you all here today.
Sure.
So
Likewise.
Javon Johnson and Noah Lawton, Brother Keith Crosby, thank you for joining us here on Talk City.
Thank you for having me.
Much success for the upcoming C.
Thank you.
Roger Wilson Leadership Conference, which will take place on the campus of North Carolina at Greensboro, and bring $200,000 to $300,000 to the Gate City. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you
you.
for having me.
Thank you, listeners and viewers, for tuning in as well. You can stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Pandora, and don't forget you can download Talk City from SoundCloud. That's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in to Talk City. Be sure to watch GTN, your official source for news and information about the city of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, and Lumos 31. GTN also streams live on Roku and the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov.